Hey, what's up, nerds? This is my blue flared deck profile that I got first place with tonight. Went undefeated in 5 rounds. I'm not even gonna try and take credit for this. This is Wes Matthews' deck, like card for card from the regional. But yeah, let's get into the deck profile. First, we'll start with our Tamas. We're playing Missimon and 4 Wanyumons. These are pretty obvious. This is just because we don't have a better Tama to play, and most of the time we do have other Digimon on the board, so we get his on deletion to draw 1 card, so pretty obvious. Next, we're playing 4 Gaussmons. This is, with the new Ukomons, this is pretty much a rush your opponent down deck, and then just stun and kill with the MetalGreymons now. So this card's very good still because we get to play our level 4s for free and we get more searching and the MetalGreymon effects, so really good. And then the real stars of the deck, we're playing 4 Ukos and we're playing 4 Ukos. I don't want to hear, guys, I think these cards are fine. I mean, sure, they're a little strong, but these kind of cards can help out decks that just don't have any other level 3s to play, like Blue Flare. Like, we don't want to play the other Gaussmon. It's just not that good. And these cards help this deck, especially this one right here with the searching. We get to search our pieces and our Tamers, so very good cards. The best opening hand I can literally ask for is one of each of these. And then I'm going to Digivolve into this and then just play this one for 3 because my opponent does not answer this on their following turn. I'm getting a free search for free memory, and it's just so many pluses, so very good. Next, we're playing 3 BT10 MetalGreymons, the OG one, on play. If you don't have the Tamer, you can play one and add the MetalGreymon, etc., etc. You already know all this. The Inheritable stuns cards if your opponent has 2 Digimon. If you're playing against a smart player who knows how to play against this deck, they can just play around this. Like Magna X can be a problem for this deck, especially the vaccine one. The armor one's not too bad because we're playing the Vikingmon, and we can hopefully Ace evolve into it and de-Digivolve it if they haven't triggered its effect. But again, smart players can play around this deck. So next, we're playing 3 of the newish MetalGreymon, the newest one, I guess, EX4. The lose 2 memory came up a couple times, but the jamming is really what benefits here. Making sure your MetalGreymon survives its checks, your Vikingmon survive your checks, everything like that is really cool because it's one of the only Inheritables that doesn't require you to have Blue Flare in its traits, so really good effects. Next, we're playing 4 Greymons from BT10. Probably your best level 4 because it searches and it's the one that lets you unsuspend. So again, the whole point of this deck is if you have 2 cards, if your opponent has 2 Digimon on the board, you get a lot of your Inheritables and effects. So smart players can play around this stuff. But again, the on plays are really good because it's searching, especially if you have this, because this just plays them for free suspended. And if you have a Tamer, you don't really care if they get over it. So really good effects. Next, we're playing 3 Greymon from the starter deck one. I mean, this card's just always going to see play in any kind of Greymon deck because, I mean, this card's never going to get power crept unless this literally said like +2. So, I mean, and only one MetalGreymon level 5 says Blue Greymon, and there's only 1 copy of that, so you're always going to be able to trigger this. We're playing 1 MetalGreymon. This helped with the strip sources, so I can see why Wes was playing this. It's got the rush, strip sources. Its Inheritable is absolute trash. You'll never get it because we do not play this awful card, Grey Knightmon, so very good. The star of the deck, outside the Vikingmon, of course. 4 copies of MetalGreymon. We all know what this card does. I'm not going to explain it. So, I mean, we're playing Blue Flare. You've got to play 4 copies of this. So, next, these are the kind of cards. These and the Ukos are really what put this over the edge because the Zudomon Aces, strip sources, and bounce stuff, which again, the whole point of this deck is you slow your opponent down, you attack early, and then you kind of just try and kill them with MetalGreymon. So what happened a lot tonight is my Gaussmon would die, and then I'd get to play out like this for free, and then my opponent was never really safe from here. Because if I have Zudomon in my hand, I can Ace, strip their sources, bounce a card back. So, yeah. And then next we're playing 2 Vikingmons. I kind of wanted to bump this up. I can see why he was only playing 2 because there's not a whole lot more room in this deck. So this was probably one of my MVPs of the deck. I mean, it helps answer Magna if they haven't triggered its effect. Its when attacking is really good too. So the D-Digivolve is just hard to avoid for a lot of decks. There's not just like a whole lot of inherent protection against that. So, and then these level 6 aces are really good because they're only 7. And if you can bounce one of their ace cards with it, you're pretty much getting free value out of that. Our last level 6s, we're playing the Greymon. Again, we're never going to get the Inheritable, so you don't have to worry about that. The real reason why we play this is to Digivolve on top of our MetalGreymon, hopefully for free. It does cost 2, but if they have 2 Digimon, you get to gain the 2 memory back. I only really did this maybe a couple times tonight. I never really needed to do it. But the couple times I did, it was Jover, it was game over. You just won from there, and it's on deletion. You get a save card, so that's always a positive. So very good card. Next, we're going to our Tamer lineup. 2 Kiriha, or Christopher as I like to still call him. Memory setter, and you can play your cross-heart cards out from underneath them. You save them under here. And then he was playing 3 copies of this Christopher and Nene. I agree with this because this one allows you to do it from the trash. It's just inheritably a little bit better than this Christopher. Even though this is a memory setter and you're not guaranteed the 2 memory all the time. I mean, unless you're a bad player like me and I forget that it's both players' side and not just your opponent's, because, you know, most of your effects are your opponent's side, but this one's just like, how about both sides? So it's still very good. I can understand why you would play more copies of this than the other Christopher. Being able to do your stuff from your trash is just feels really good. We're playing 2 Louis. Again, this is like a rookie rush style kind of deck with the top end just being really strong. So very good card. The best. Everything I said before that about my MVPs was a lie. This is actually the MVP. I don't think we will ever see another card like this. This card on release was the most ridiculous thing. Like, back in the day, normally you could do this main effect, but then you just wouldn't get the delay effect. Like, this was like revolutionary for the time, because this is potentially getting you 3 cards for 5 memory. You're adding 2 cards with Blue Flare.
3 memory.
Yeah, basically for 3, because the game 2. You're basically adding 2 cards and getting to play a Tamer for free. Now, with the way the deck is now, with all the cards that aren't Blue Flare, there are times, like I think twice tonight, where I didn't get full max value out of it, which, again, with the amount of games I played, is still kind of crazy. There was one time I activated it and did not get to any value out of it. I revealed like all Ukos and like Zudos and Vikingmons, and I just couldn't add anything off of it. But again, you still get 2 memory off of it, so it's still not too bad, and you get to cycle your deck a little bit and hopefully see the cards you need to. Another really good part about this is one of the earlier cards where the option card starts saying the trait in its name, so you can add this off like the Greymon. So again, this card will never not be bad. And then lastly, we're playing 2 of these. I can understand why he played these in our regional, because one, Numamon. There's not a whole lot of Numamons here at iLocal, so I'd probably just cut this for something else. But I played his list card for card. I just wanted to see what how it ran. And then this is a really good card. Honestly, this card never came up except for my final match against Brandon. Other than that, I never saw this card. It either got bottom decked. It, again, was never in my security until I played against Brandon. He's standing right there, so I got to rub this in. Again, I'm going to say this too. Never saw this card. It always got bottom decked. Was never in my security except against Brandon. So
the same game.
Yeah, same game. Both of these were in my security.
You're good, Brandon.
So I can understand why he's playing 1 and 1 of each, because they're both situational. This one specifically against Numamon, this against anything. But I wouldn't mind, like, for my locals, because there's not a whole lot of like rush style decks like Numamon. I'd probably cut this for like another Vikingmon, and maybe even cut this and just run another consistency card, because removal's cool and all, but like the Vikingmon and the Zudomon are enough for me. So yeah. But anyways, again, shout out to Wes Matthews. Really fun deck. I've always said that Blue Flare is like, it's always like the bottom end of tier 1 and like teetering on tier 2. But as long as Blazing is still a card and we get cards that just kind of help the deck a little bit, it's always going to be okay. I mean, it's a fun deck. I don't think it can consistently top if your opponents don't expect it or know how to play around it and play into your effects, they're just going to lose. I mean, any player like Numamon, it's hard for them not to have to. Yeah, it's hard for them not to play into it because it's the style of deck it is. And with that card running wild, I could see this, getting some more results. But it's still got to be piloted by a good player like me. Obviously, I went undefeated tonight, so don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and thank you for watching, guys. Hey, what's up, nerds? This is Digimon channel. Shit. Keep that in. Keep that in.